What's up, inmates and orderlies? Welcome to UnimPrest, a solo Arkham LCG thing that I'm doing. I'm your host, Graham. I'm doing the thing that we're talking about, and it's a good time. I'm playing Solo Preston through Carcosa. If you've been watching the series thus far, which I highly recommend, you'll kind of know what this deck is trying to do and what it's all about. I'll talk a little bit about the changes real quick. Since last time I got Lola Santiago, she's a central part of the deck. So this time I picked up a pair of Peter Sylvestres with my Adaptable, and I also added another sneak attack. I found that I needed more damage output besides the Fire Axe in case I didn't draw it early enough, and I should have had 2 sneak attacks from the get-go, which I did not. So, lesson learned there. I dropped the flashlights to make room for Peters because I didn't need those anymore. And I also dropped a Lone Wolf and a Desperate Search for a pair of Test of Wills. I had 1 Test of Will last time, which I did use in Exile. And so now I've added 2 more into this because I know this scenario. And on solo, it's very, very tight time frame wise. And there's a lot of treacheries in there that could cost me 2 or 3 actions to recover from. I'm particularly thinking of the treacheries. They're like the hidden treacheries, like doubt and dismay and things like that. If those happen to really hose my strategy at the time, maybe like you can't commit skills or you can only move once per turn, I have to get rid of those right away. And honestly, I can't afford to really get 2 or 3 of those because of how tight these actions are. Unfortunately, this scenario is a little bit poorly balanced between 1 investigator, 2 investigator, 3 investigator, and 4. So it's a little rough around the edges. In terms of other things that I'm hoping to pick up in the future, I'm probably going to drop my cherished keepsakes now that I have Peters, and I don't know, I might try to add in some skill cards or whatever else I'm going to upgrade into. I'll probably start saving up my experience points because I've got the core of the deck, which is a Charisma, a Streetwise, and 2 Lolas. So now I kind of have a lot of wiggle room. I'm actually thinking pretty heavily about the Survivor skill Stroke of Luck. You can exile it to automatically succeed at a test, which is very powerful, and that seems really good when your stat line is garbage, like Preston's is. And there was one other thing I wanted to, one other asset. Oh, I'm a big fan of Rabbit's Foot. I can just never fit it into any decks, and so I'd actually like to switch out the keepsakes for Rabbit's Foots using Adaptable. So anyway, we got Preston. He's ready to go. We're playing the Unspeakable Oath. I've got my map set up here. I'm not going to go through all the story and stuff. I'm just going to give you the abridged versions of the flavor text. And if you recall, when you enter the Asylum here at not Echoes of the Past, Unspeakable Oath. Jeez, I don't know why I couldn't think of that. You actually get locked inside because they think you're crazy. And you have about 2 rounds before some people start coming after you. Hey, sidebar, spoiler alert, I guess I should say, because I'm playing this scenario, so if you haven't played it, there's going to be spoilers because I'm playing it. I got to get 3 clues. 3 clues. And unlike other scenarios where, you maybe have a couple paths you might want to take, or you just got to dig around for clues wherever you can find them, I actually have a very, very specific route that I'm going to take because this map gets very sprawling and very big, and I'm going to create a sort of a warp point target for myself. And late in the scenario, I'm going to want to play Elusive, which lets you move to any revealed location as long as there's no enemies there. And so we're going to use that to kind of save about a round and a half of movement right at the end of the game, and we're probably going to need it. So anyway, here's Preston. Hey, what's up, Preston? We're starting in the Western Patient Wing. Let's flip this one. Oh, you know what? These get chosen randomly, don't they? Yeah. I got 2 cards here. I got 2 cards here. We're going to shuffle these guys up. And then I'm going to remove this one from the game and this one from the game. So we don't know what is going on here with these. So flip them. All right. Our starting position here, our starting location, says each lunatic enemy at this location gets +1 horror value. It also comes with a clue. We're going to ignore that clue because I don't care about it. I'm not going to need it. I got a plan, and I'm going to work that plan. All right, Preston, let's shuffle up the deck here. Draw 5 cards. What does our opening hand look like? Oh, we got a weakness. Clasp of Black Onyx. I picked that up last time. Well, I definitely want the Fire Axe, and the Keepsake, honestly, is going to be nice if I can get it to the ground. Test of Will potentially could be helpful. I definitely am not going to keep the skill cards. I'm thinking of the things that I want right away, and there's an early location that has 2 clues on it that I want to get, and so I really want a look what I found. So I think I'm only going to keep one of these, and I'm actually going to get rid of the Test of Will, but I will keep the teddy bear because he's really cute. So I'm going to draw 3 more. Oh, I got a 1 of Lone Wolf, and there it is. We found it. It's beautiful. Oh, we got Peter Sylvestre, so we're not going to need that Keepsake anymore. If I had mulliganed the Keepsake, what would I have gotten? Perception. That might have been helpful, but you know what? Here we are. It's not the look what I found, which is really the other thing that I was mulliganing for. So, you guys ready? Let's start this party off. I'm going to play a Fire Axe with my family inheritance money. I'm just going to move that up there. I'm going to play a Lone Wolf with my inheritance money. And I'm going to... I think we're going to move... Oops. I'm going to move up to the yard. Get a little sunshine. But the fresh air and the illusion of freedom makes my courtyard a common gathering place for patients. So there. A little flavor text for you. Yard says, oh, only 1 shroud. Love that because my intellect is only 1. 1 clue. It gets additional shroud for each horror on me. Well, that's no good. If there's no clues in the yard, take a damage. Remember that you incited a fight amongst the patients. Oh, I wonder what that fight's all about, huh? Anyway, that's the end of the round. Let's keep things moving. Weakness right off the bat, 13th vision. We're going to get rid of that pretty shortly, I think. Let's go to the start of the round, and we head up to 1 doom. Descent into Madness. If you have 3 horror on you, lose an action. I don't, but it does surge into walls closing in. Test Willpower X, where X is the shroud value of your location. So obviously this is 1, and I can take 1 horror for each point I fail by, which is not anything. I did start with 1 mental trauma, I believe. Let's double check that real quick. Oops. Got the Onyx Clasp going on. Yeah, only the 1 trauma. So that's where that comes from. I'm probably going to take a horror here, but I don't think it's worth like committing cards to, except maybe the Keepsake, but I'll keep the Keepsake. So I'm a 1 on 1, I believe. 0. See, this is why you don't worry about it. Also, remember that this is X, where it's your shroud value, and the cool thing about the location that I'm at and that card, they interact really interestingly. The more horror you have, the higher the shroud is, so you're more likely to take more horror. The more horror, because there's more horror, so then you take. Anyway, it's interesting. All right, so starting my turn, I gain an extra resource from Lone Wolf, so I'm going to put 5 on Family Inheritance. And my first action is I'm going to investigate. Let's take a look at our chaos bag. I want to be 1 up on this test, apparently, because I have 1 horror, so that's the cultists, and skulls are -1. I'm playing on standard. So yeah, gotta be 1 up, one up on this test. And I am currently a 1 on 1. Alright, so I'm going to spend 2 resources with Streetwise. Because I got the money for it. And that puts me at a 4 on 1. Minus 1, I get the clue. So let's pick that up. Come on. There you go. There you go. You did it. Oh, actually, I mean, I also have to get rid of that in short order here. I'm thinking about putting down Peter, actually, sooner than later. Because of all the horror that this scenario can throw at you. So I'm going to spend my other 3 resources off my inheritance on a Peter. And then last action, I'm going to use the yard action here. If there's no clues on the yard, take 1 damage. Remember that you incited a fight amongst the patients. I will remember that. So I'm going to take a damage. And don't I have like a cool little like survivor symbol I can use here? Let's grab one from my man Silas. And I'm going to put this here, and that's going to signal that I did the thing at this location. I have incited a fight amongst the patients. Alright, so, and enemy phase, nothing happens. End of the round, I draw a card, and I gain a resource. There's my Dark Horse. I'll see if I get that down. I probably will. I'm just so worried about the clock in this scenario. You know how it is. Do you know how it is? I don't think you do. Okay, let's go up to the top. Oh my gosh, 2 Doom already. Look at that. We're going to advance. Let's see what it says. Speaking with patients is proving more difficult because they're crazy. Shuffle the encounter discard pile and each of the set-aside lunatic enemies into the encounter deck. Then I randomly choose a monster enemy from the monster deck and place it beneath the act. So here's the deal. We got these lunatics right here and the discard pile. And that's all going to get put into the encounter deck. And then I have to choose one of these monsters randomly. And we're going to put it underneath the act deck. Then I draw my encounter card, and it is Corrosion. That's maybe not great. Hold on. Am I still at the yard? So I only have to get rid of a 1-cost item. And I only have one 1-cost item. Man, Corrosion just hoses this deck. It is nuts how bad that is. Well, I got a coup de grace. Things will be fine, right? Alright, first 2 actions. I'm going to get rid of the 13th Vision, I think. Is that what I want to do? How badly do I need to tie stuff? I don't know. I'm not convinced, honestly. Alright, so let's go up here. I'm going to spend 1 action moving here to the Asylum Halls, and then I'm actually going to move on over to the Mess Hall. Let's flip this guy over. 2 clues here. After you successfully investigate, choose and discard a card from your hand. So this is the look what I found fodder that I was looking for. So I'm going to maybe draw once. I could either draw or play Dark Horse. And I think I'm going to draw to find it. Let's see if I get lucky. Looking for look what I found. Rise to the occasion. Okay, so we're gonna have to play on hard mode. I see. That's fine. Okay, enemy phase. Nothing happens. Another round. I draw a card. Gain a resource. Hey, Fire Axe. What's up, buddy? And we go to the top. We are at that should have been at 0 Doom. And now we have a cool 7 rounds on this agenda. Whispers in your head. You can only move once per turn. So that's what I wanted the Test of Will for. But now it's in my hand. So I get to deal with that, which is fun. Okay, and I guess I'm just going to start investigating here. This is not the run that I was hoping for. After you successfully investigate, choose and discard a card from your hand. Is there a way that I can, like, not do that? Let's try one more time, because then it'll give me more cards to discard on these next 2 investigate actions. Rise to the occasion, lovely. Alright, second action, I'm going to commit 2 with Streetwise. So I will be at a 1, 2, 3, 4 on 2. Is that pretty good for our chaos bag here? 2 up is that's pretty good. If I can go 1 more, that'd be nice, but I'm not going to worry about it. Well, that's an auto fail. Cool. And then last action, let's investigate again. And that's a cultist, which is -1 because that's how much horror's on me. So on that one succeeds because I was 2 up on my test. So I get a clue and I have to choose and discard a card from my hand, and I'm going to get rid of the keepsake for sure. Alright, end of the round. Draw a card and gain a resource, which is great. Love it. Top of the round, go up to 2 doom, and I draw Whispers in Your Head. Doubt. You cannot play events. Okay, that's probably, that's going to have to get rid of it. Gonna have to get rid of that one. Okay, so back to my turn. I'm going to spend 2 resources with Streetwise. I'm a 4 on 2 to investigate this location. -1, I succeeded. I'm going to get rid of my duplicate Dark Horse as I get rid of, or as I pick up this clue. Bad news is that everything's bad. Everything is bad news. I don't know what to tell you. What was I going to say about this? I don't know. I'm just going to keep moving. Oh, I'm behind the ball. I think that's what I was thinking of. So I'm going to get rid of my you cannot move once per turn weakness. I think that's the one I want to get rid of. With my second and third actions. Here we are, end of the round. Look what I found. You punk. Where have you been, my bro? Top of the next round. We're already at 3 doom. Can you believe it? Just flying. Dance of the Yellow King. No. If there's no lunatic enemies in play, it gains surge. So it's going to surge into the yellow sign. Well, I don't think I have a madness weakness, so I don't think this one's as bad. So I'm just going to chalk this one up to failure. Because, I mean, it's 2 horror, and it's going to go on Peter. Excuse me. Well, one of them is going to go on Peter. So I'm a 1 on 4. Huh. Look at that. I got a 2. 2 on 4. Oh, well. So I take 2 horror. I'm going to put one of those on Peter. Discard that. And then next action first action I'm going to move to the Asylum Halls. Second action I'm going to move to the other Asylum Halls. Let's flip it. I can take a horror to automatically evade a lunatic enemy at this location. That's cool. And then, let's see, I need 3 clues to advance. And I think I have 3 clues. Oh, but you know what? I'm going to hold off on that. I have a plan, and that plan is going to involve me going to the infirmary, which is going to let me convert damage to horror and horror to damage if I want. But I'm probably not going to take that action. Mostly I'm here because it says victory 1 in that corner. You know I love that victory points, you know? It's real good. Okay, so my turn was move. Was that my turn? Yeah, it was. Cool. Alright, another round. Draw a card. Gain a resource. I'm rich right now, and that Dark Horse is not looking very helpful. But finally, a Test of Will showed up. That's something, I guess. Top of the round, we're at 4 doom out of 7 already. This scenario is halfway done, and Corrosion makes an appearance again. So I can get rid of my Fire Axe, which makes me a little nervous. But I have decent evade. So I'm trying to think if I can afford to evade every enemy for the rest of the scenario. I mean, I don't think I have much of a choice, right? Because my Shroud is 3. I have to discard 3 resources worth. Oh, I see. I could Test of Will it. Or I could get rid of the Fire Axe. It's my... Oh, man. It's my only other weapon. really, in this game besides sneak attacks. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to play a Test of Will for one of my resources, and we're going to cancel that card's Revelation effect, and it gets exiled. So I'm going to do it. I maybe didn't need to worry about that, but by jingo, here we are. Alright, so we're going to try to catch up here a little bit, and I'm going to investigate here. I think, oops, I'm going to spend 4 resources off my inheritance, so that puts me at a 1, 4, 7 on 3. Skulls, I believe, are -1. Let's double check. -1. Okay, so I did not fail. And I'm going to pick up this clue, which gives me an experience point, which I do like. And then I'm going to play my Dark Horse. Is that what I want to do? I might have to get rid of this Whispers. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll play Dark Horse so I can stop taking resources during the whatever phase, during the upkeep phase, which is a weird situation to be in. And then last action, I'm going to play a Fire Axe for 1. Cool. Locked and loaded, baby. End of the round. Draw a card, gain a resource. It's another copy of Peter. And we go up to 5 Doom already. Holy smokes. Another willpower to take 2 horror. Oh, by the way, Peter did heal this horror at some point. And, I mean, I could try to test this again. It'll bring me up to 3 horror, which seems bad for the cultist token, I think. But I got another Peter in my hand. I mean, I could just play that. Oh, you know what? Let me make sure that I didn't break the rules here. I'm supposed to search my deck for a Madness weakness last time, and I have a Pact, I have an item and a relic, I have a Humanoid Elite. So, indeed, I did not have anything to worry about there. I'm just going to take this on the chin. I don't really care. -2, so I was a 0 on 4, and I take 2 horror, one of which goes on Peter. That card goes away. And search my deck for Mana Sweetness. There you go. Okay, so let's go. I'm going to get rid of... Do I need to get rid of this yet? First, I'm going to spend clues. Here's why. I am afraid that when I advance the act, it's going to shuffle the discard pile in. And I don't want to add this one again. I remember I talked about that elusive strategy, that I'm going to rely on finding that event and playing it at the end so I can finish in time. And so this is no good. This is not it's not going to fly. So anyway, before I take any actions on my turn, we're actually going to spend my 3 clues and advance. Let's see what happens here. Turning a corner, you bump into a nurse with light brown hair and sharp features. Ooh, girl. You tell her about the violent patients, and she's like, y'all crazy. Everyone crazy. You ask her about Daniel, and she's like, yeah, he's downstairs. So I'm going to test evasion 4. So I'm going to spend, let's see, evasion 4. I'm going to spend 2 resources off of my inheritance. Well, you know, I actually meant to spend one of these last turn, so I'm just going to do it now. 1 resource off my inheritance, so that puts me at a 1, 2, 5 on 4. That's not good enough. Spend more money. 8 on 4. 8 on 4 says auto fail. What? Boo! Alright, so now I got to test intellect. Okay. Right, let's confirm. That's one of them. Yes, I can choose to test intellect 4. So I start with a 1. Let's spend 2 more resources. So I'm at a 4, and I'm going to commit a rise to the occasion. So that puts me at 7 intellect. 7 on 4. Plus 1. I did it. Let's see what happens. I tried to steal the keys from her, and she was like, "Get your hands off my keys." And so then I said, "All right, well, here's the thing. I'm the government." And she was like, "Yes, that makes sense. Here are the keys." So I advanced to Act 2A. Ignore the text on the unrevealed site of Arkham Asylum locations. There's actually well, let me make sure that I'm advancing to the correct one here. Oh, I am. Yeah, I got the setup right. You know, the text. Yeah, so some of these locations they actually don't ignore the text on. It's not, the locations shouldn't have the keyword. Is the problem. And I'm looking for the patient confinement location with Daniel Chesterfield. Okay, so that's my first thing that I did. I didn't even spend any actions yet. So let's go. Do I want to get rid of this right now? I'm thinking about what's at the basement. Yeah, I'm going to move first action, and then 2-3, I'm going to get rid of doubts. So now I can play events again. Hooray for me. Alright, so end of the round, I draw a card. I'm actually going to choose to not gain resources. Well, let me think about that. I just drew a Lola, which I'm going to play. Oh, Peter hears a horror. Yeah, I'll gain a resource. That's fine. Because I'm going to play her, and then I'm going to spend her, and everything's going to be cool. It's going to be Gooch, my friends. Gooch, I say. And we go up to the top of the round. 6 Doom, Mother of Moses. This is madness. Alright, Mad Patient. Spawns at the nearest asylum halls. Where's that? Huh. That's where I am. Let's look at that. So this Mad Patient spawns with me. And when I attack Mad Patient, I have to take a horror. That's a ripoff. Now I could just evade it, which seems great. So I'm going to do that. Okay. It's a 3 evade. So I start with, let's see, I'm going to spend 2 on Streetwise. That's my first action to evade. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everybody in the club, it's a patient. I'm gonna be 2 up on this test. Oh, but I failed ties. So I guess I'll spend more money. So what am I at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's math. See? I would have failed because of 13th vision, where you fail ties. Which is gross. Anyway, so he gets, they get evaded. Second action, I'm going to move to the basement halls, which I'm hoping to get the clue off of because this is worth an experience point. And after the basement halls revealed, set this 4 patient wings into play. Are these in here still? Let's see. Oh, that's Daniel. What about this? Nope, that's, what is that? That's from the last scenario. Go. Get out of here. I don't even care about you anymore. Monster deck. No. What about, is it still in here? Patient confinement. I found it. Okay. Cool beans. Let's lay these guys out. Shuffle them up. And 1, 2, and 3. So here's the 4 patient confinement locations. And so these are the ones that shouldn't have Arkham Asylum. The FAQ does detail that the backside of these is in play, because otherwise it would never actually work. It would never be in play. Sorry, I'm not being very clear. It's apparent that these should not have Arkham Asylum as a trait because they do not come into play until you move into the basement hall. and you cannot get to the basement hall because of the text that's on the back of it until you advance the act and get the keys. So why would they even need that text on here? The back of these each say, as an additional cost, you must spend a clue. So, last action. Hold on. My mouse goofed up. That was weird. Last action. Let's move into the first. Patient confinement. Let's see what we got. After pay. Oh, I found Daniel's cell right away. How neat is that? Well, that doesn't mean that we're done downstairs, but I will spend a clue to enter, I guess, is what I'm saying. Here, I don't want to get this confused. I was going to put on the location for a second to say that I spent it, but anyway, so last action, I move into here, and then that causes the act to advance. So we'll flip that over and see what it says. When you enter his cell, Daniel's huddled on the corner of the room. He's saying, "No mask, no mask." The title of this card is Three Geese in a Flock, which is obviously a reference to something, and I obviously do not get that reference. You ask him about the King in Yellow, and he's like, "It's Nigel. He's the one." Pointing fingers, are ya? Rude. He made us say his name, Haster, O King, take a bunch of horror, whatever. You believe you might understand more about the situation if you can calm this boy down. So I'm going to try to... choose an investigator at patient confinement. Put the set-aside Daniel Chesterfield card into play under that investigator's control. I think he's... Does he have ally? Because shuffle the encounter discard pile and each enemy beneath the act deck into the encounter deck. Alright, so this gets shuffled in here. Dang it. The stupid event thing got shuffled back in there. I'm going to have to hold on to a test of will next time it shows up, so that I can play events and move and stuff. Alright, but I gotta get Danny Boy. Where is he at? Here he is. Come here. And I put him under my control. Oh, he takes up my charisma slot. So if I want Lola online, I'm actually gonna have to get rid of Peter, it looks like. That's a shame. That's a shame. You know what? If I had been really good, I would have known that, you got the mandatory ally situation that I have myself set up for, and I know that I want Lola, so I could have, not put in Peter. But it's whatever, man. It's cool. It's all good. Everything's good. It's totally gooch. End of the round. Draw a card, gain a resource. I actually am going to gain that resource again. I'm going to be spending some Lola money this turn. Technically, the Mad Patient does ready. Go to the start of the round. Oh, no, we advance. Oh, no. Let's see what happens. The lead investigator must randomly choose an enemy from the set-aside monster enemies. Shuffle it into the encounter deck. I can do that. Shuffle. I still got 30 cards in there, so that's chances are not high that I'll draw one. There's two of them in there. And if Constance Dumaine is not listed under VIP Slain, spawn her in the garden. Let's take a look in the book. Constance is super dead. Look at that. I love that. Look at that. Look at that dead girl. Cool. Alright, so we have 8 rounds left. Flee. Flee while you still can. We have 8 rounds left, and then we lose. So I'm going to draw an encounter card. No whammies. Walls closing in. I got to test willpower. X, where it's the shroud of your location. So let's see. 2 shroud. Got to test 2 willpower here. Or else, what happens? Or else I take a horror for each point you fail by, or shuffle monsters into the deck. Well, I don't love that. So I'm going to discard a Peter to commit. So it puts me at, I'm going to put it up here. 2, and then I actually can't commit Rise to the Occasion because it needs to be 2 higher than me. Oh, no. This is a willpower 2 test. Okay, so I'm probably going to lose. This is what you're telling me. Do I save this I mean, the chances of drawing a 0 or better are so slim. These are actually, let's move this. These are -3s because this is how much horror I have on me. So yeah, given that chaos bag, being tied with the test is like not even worth me committing it because I'm totally gonna lose. Oh, but it is how much horror you fail by, right? Which I guess I can only fail by 2 anyway. And I could put 1 horror on Peter. Oh, Daniel also has this text. I didn't cover this. When you take a horror, at least one of that horror has to go to Daniel, or else I take a damage. And if he leaves play, remove him from the game. And I think that affects the resolution if he got out alive or not. So I think we want to try to keep him around. Anyway, I'm going to commit Peter because he's literally not going to do anything. And this is a how much horror do you fail by situation. And we're going to see if I get lucky and draw like a -1. -3. Okay, so 0 on 2. I failed by 2. I have to take 2 horror. 1 has to go on Daniel. The other one I'm going to put on Peter for obvious reasons. And now it's here we are. Here we are again. So first action, I'm actually going to overwrite Peter and play Lola. And I want to be at 6 resources so that I can use Fire Axe a couple times to bring down my Dark Horse. So that's my first action. Then I'm going to exhaust Lola. Oops. And pick up this clue for 2 resources. Also off of my inheritance. So now second action, I'm going to move to the basement halls. And then third action, I have to keep looking for these throughout these patient confinement cells because I'm actually looking for quest stuff like I found at the yard. I incited a fight. That's the kind of thing I'm looking for, and I just plan on going to all of the confinement cells because you can't trust to get lucky enough to actually hit Daniel's cell on your own. So I'm going to go to this next one, Familiar Cell. Test Willpower X, where X is the horror on you, which is 3 right now. If you succeed, you recognize the room. Remember that you were called the way out. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that weird? How could you recognize a cell in Arkham Asylum? I don't know, man. Seems weird. End of the round. Everything ready. So I'm going to draw a card. I'm going to opt to get a resource right now because I think I'm going to need to spend a bunch coming up here shortly. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know if it matters. I'm bad at Dark Horse. Don't talk to me. All right, top of the round. 1 doom. 7 rounds remain. And I'm going to draw a straight jacket. All right, well, I forgot about straight jackets. I'll be real with you. Straight jacket goes into play. It removes my body slot and my hand slots. Wait, do these things go back into my hand, though? Return each asset in those slots to your hand. Okay, good. Alright, well, we'll see if I have to get rid of straight jacket or not. Really, I'm just worried about getting a monster. That's kind of where I'm at. Anyway, you know who doesn't have on a straight jacket is Lola Santiago. So, oops. I am going to exhaust her and pay 2 resources. Oops, I spent that clue as well. Get out of here, clue. Spent 2 resources off of family inheritance to discover clue. I could get rid of straight jacket. I'm going to, let's see here. I need to put down dig deep. I use 2 resources for that. And then I have to test last action willpower 3. And I'm going to use my guts for this. So it brings me 1, 3. I got dig deep here. So we're going to go 4, 5, 6. I'm at 6 on 3. Let's check the bag. 6 on 3 is where you want to be because it's 3 up. Wait, do I still lose ties? Yeah, I still lose ties. So we're going to go 7 on 3. So I'm 4 up. Cultist, -3. Look at that. It's like I knew what was in the bag. Then I played the odds for the bag. Anyway, so now I recalled the way out because I looked around this room and I was like, yeah, man, I remember when I was here. I'm sorry, what? You remember that you were where, bro? What is this? I'll gain a resource with Dark Horse. I feel like you can either be at 3 or you can be at 6 with Dark Horse. And by that I mean I don't have Fire Axe down, so maybe it doesn't matter. Sneak attack, that might be a good way to deal with stuff while I have a straitjacket on. So that's cool. Top of the round, 2 dooms, 6 rounds remain. Still haven't seen elusive. Don't love that. My encounter card is walls closing in. This is like the 3rd time I've drawn this thing, right? There must, because it got shuffled back in the deck, and there's maybe 2. So, anyway, I'm about to take a bunch of horror. I could pay a bunch of money to not fail this. It's the Shroud. That's my Shroud. It's only 2. I think it's worth trying to avoid taking a horror or 2 to try to keep Daniel up, because right now I start at a 1 on 2, which isn't bad. Remember, I don't have my inheritance money yet because my turn hasn't started. So, we're going to use Dig Deep. I start with 1 and the difficulty's 2. Oh, I forgot to draw a card with my guts. So let's make sure I got that going on. Oh, cool. Lola, what's up, girl? Alright, so I'm at 1. Sorry, 1. And then Dig Deep is going to bring me up to 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to be 6. Dark Horse kicks in. 7. 7 on 2. Spend all my money, but you know what? Sometimes you fail ties, and you got to spend all your money. Okay, well, I didn't take any horror, which is good news. And I get 5 resources at the start of my turn, which is also good news. So, where am I at? Where's the map? Here's the map. Alright, so I took the clue. I went here. So I'm going to go 1. Now, right now, I don't have... I already spent this clue to move in. Sorry. Haven't been good about removing that clue when I'm moving into these locations. So while I'm here, I'm going to exhaust Lola and spend 4 of my 5 off of inheritance to pick up this clue for no actions. And then, second action, I'm going to move downtown, which costs me a clue. And, yes, there's one of these that's like a 5 shroud, and you don't want to find that early just because it's really hard for Preston to pass a 5 shroud investigate. Although I guess I got Lola, but still. So, I need to... Sorry, second action, I moved in here. And I'm going to try to know the guard's patrols, which is an intellect test. And now's a great time to take it. So I spent this clue to move in. I have to know the guard's patrols, huh? Well, it's an intellect test, and so I start with 1, 2, and now Dark Horse is online, so it's 3. And I'm going to commit... Do I need Look What I Found anymore? I'm just going to commit this other Lola. I don't think I'm going to play her for the soak or anything. But Look What I Found is a worse card than Lola, so I'll just keep it around. Okay, so I'm at, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on 2. I'm just gonna take it because I can commit Lola for another one. So I'm sorry, I moved into the basement halls, moved down here at last action. I'm doing the thing. Skulls are -1. Yep. So I did the thing. What did I do? I know the guard's patrols. I'm a knowledgeable guy. And now, all I'm really looking for is elusive, and I can make my way out of here. So, no enemies that do anything relevant. End of the round. Oh, the Clasp of Black Onyx. Everything costs more. Now the question is, do I go up to 1 resource or not right now? I will, because I have Dark Horse here. And, sorry, I have Dark Horse. I also have Dig Deep. That's what I was thinking of. So I can spend Dig Deep money to turn on Dark Horse if I need it. Hopefully. Okay. Clasp is up and Adam, and we go to the top of the round. 3 Doom, 5 rounds remain. Dance of the Yellow King. No, there's lunatic enemies in play. I have to test willpower 3. If you fail, the nearest lunatic readies, moves, engages you, and makes an attack. So let's take a look at the Mad Patient. I would take a damage from it, her, them. It looks like a her, right? We'll just call her her. Now that's not terrible. I'm more worried about horror than I am damage. So I could just take this one on the chin, but I don't have Fire Axe down, so I can't kill her with that. I could try to kill her with Sneak Attack, but because she doesn't have Hunter, I might just evade her and move away. But, like, what if I just pass this test and then can just draw up for elusive like a madman? That seems way better to me. So if you don't know where I'm moving to, I'm down here, and I need to get, basically I need to get to the garden, but it's not revealed yet, and so I will use elusive to warp to the yard instead. That's the plan, which is going to save me 1, 2, 3, 4 actions. Yeah, so over a round's worth of actions of just movement. Not to mention I get to leapfrog over enemies and stuff. So I think I am going to try to pass this test. What is this? This is a willpower 3. Okay, so I start with a 1. I'm going to spend 1 with Dig Deep, so that brings me up to 2. The Dark Horse kicks in, so that's 3. And then I'm going to commit Rise to the Occasion. We're going to be 4, 5, 6. 6 on 3. 0. Heck yeah. Alright, now I gotta get some cards. I gotta get some elusive. Because, I mean, could I spend... I'm about to spend some actions to draw. Would it be better for me just to try to move there? I'm gonna spend a round drawing. And I have 2 copies of elusive in here. So it's a 1 in 7 chance when I start drawing here. And I think it's still better, even if I spent 1 entire round drawing, because I can leapfrog enemies that are in the middle of the thing. I guess what I could have done was tank that test, evade, and then just start walking the hard way, and maybe that would have been more consistent. But I was focused on the elusive plan. All right, so first action, draw. Look at that. Look at that. Make a plan, stick to the plan, except when you gotta change it. But this time I didn't need to change it, so y'all can eat crap. Fast. I'm gonna play elusive. It costs me 1, 2, 3 because of the Clasp of Black Onyx, which comes off of my family inheritance. So we're gonna go up to 3. As a fast action, I move from here. Zoop, 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 zoop. Sneaky, sneaky Preston. Going to move up to here. Action 2, I'm going to move to the garden. Let's flip this one over. What does this say? If there's no clues in the garden, I can test agility to remember that I distracted the guards. Hey, you know what I didn't do is I did not advance this act deck here. So I'm going to do that. Because that's going to shed some light on what I've been doing. It actually hasn't... oh, this is the extra one. That's why that looks so familiar. Yeah. So what I did is I advanced the act deck when I found Daniel, but I actually didn't read the top card. So I'm trying to accomplish 4 of these things. If you've played this, you already know what I'm talking about, probably. So that's just what I'm trying to do. And I'm trying to get four of these objectives completed. And I'm currently at 3. So anyway, first action was draw, fast play elusive. Second action, move over here. I gotta get that clue up, which is a thing. And you know what's weird is that if I had one more resource right now, I can actually pick it up with Lola. But I guess I'm going to try to investigate because I got an action, and so why not? Otherwise, I'll just use my money next turn to do it. So let's investigate. I'm at a 1, 2, 3 with Dark Horse, commit 4, 5, Lola. I'm a 5 on 3. That's an auto-fail. Okay, well, so much for that. Oh, take heart. Where have you been all my life, man? Could have used you like a million times. By that, I mean probably 3. Okay. Where are we at? What are we doing? Top of the round. 4 doom out of 8. Walls closing in. Are you joking me? Alright, well, what's the shroud? 3? I think I just said. Let's double check. I'm making a willpower 3 test, but I kind of ran out of willpower stuff. I don't have my family inheritance money, so I think I'm going to have to take some horror here. One is going to go on Daniel, one's going to go on Lola. I'm just going to commit take heart to this test. Alright, so I'm a 1 on 3. I mean, I could spend a resource to be 3 on 3, but I still fail ties. Okay, I'm just going to do this. +1, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? If I had spent that resource, what you're telling me is if I had spent that resource, I would have gotten it. Alright, well, you know, that's just how it goes sometimes. Anyway, I got a +1, so I had a 2 willpower on 3. So I have to take 1 horror, and I'm going to put it on Daniel. Then, excuse me, take heart comes into play. Gain 2 cards and 2 resources. Thank you, I will. 2 cards, 2 resources. They do go in family inheritance because it gets all my money. All my money all the time. Okay, so we're going to pick up this clue with 1 Lola Santiago, which the shroud here is 3, so I'm going to spend 1. I'm going to spend 2. I'm going to go ahead and spend 3 for the Dark Horse because it doesn't really matter. So that's going to pick up this clue. Then, first action, right, I remember how this goes. First action, I'm going to test Agility 2. Succeed. If you succeed, remember that you distracted the guards. Agility 2. So I'm starting at a 1, 2, 3 with Dark Horse. Let's go 4, 5, 6 with Streetwise. And the difficulty's 2? That's it? Alright. So I'm at a 6 on 2. I fail ties, but even if I draw a 3, 6 on 2, yeah. So I'll succeed with everything except the -4, the tentacle. I'm actually going to commit take heart to this so that if I do fail, I get enough money to commit to the next test. Yeah, that's my plan. Cool. So I'm spending my 2 resources here. I spent 2 with all 2. I actually have 1 resource left, I think. Great. All right. I'm 4 up. -3. So that's enough to pass that test. Copy. Paste. Boom. And then I think I have accomplished the act already. Let's see. If you've performed 4 of the following: I know the guards' patrols, I incited a fight amongst the patients, I recalled the way out, and I distracted the guards. So we're going to advance this bad boy. An orderly scream echoes throughout the halls. Nurses and guards rush, and the things start getting crazy. The walls blur and twist, and monsters and creatures and boogeymen. Ooh. Shuffle the encounter discard pile and each enemy beneath the act deck into the encounter deck. If there's 3 monsters shuffled in by this effect. See, there's not, though, because I already shuffled them in. And also, I didn't have to add any. Because I'm good like that. Also, I think Preston, once you get Preston with like 9 to 12 experience points, he's bonkers good. So, specifically, Streetwise and Lola. Like, he's just, you spend 9 XP on those cards, and boom. You good. You gooch, as they say. Anyway, so I advance. I didn't read what's left here. Then, no asylum. All hell has broken loose. Garden gains action if there's no ready enemy at the garden. Resign. Finally, a way out. Hold on a second. I want to make sure that I didn't break the game by ignoring the clasp with these take cards. And no, okay. Everything's fine. Yeah, so, hey, my location has a resign option. Isn't that crazy? Wow. I think I'll take it. Dun, 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 dun. So I won, I think. Well, I assume so. I have resigned. Let us advance. If you took the keys by force, I didn't. So I get Resolution 3. The guards are too busy controlling the situation to notice your escape. I'm just good like that. Let's check out the victory display. You'll notice that there were no monsters that I killed because I only found 1 monster the entire time. That's pretty standard Carcosa. I feel like there's a lot of missions where you don't have enemies, which is weird. Alright, Basement Hall. That's 1. Throw that over there. Infirmary, here's 1. I need to get the kitchen. What about the yard? Nope. What about the mess hall? There it is. Get that one up there. And that's it for those. So, the grand total is 3. That's inspiring, huh? What an inspiring tale of 3 experience points. Yep. Okay. Well, you know what? That's just fine, because I think the only experience point monsters in this scenario are from the monster deck, and they're all terrible. They're super rough. So, you know, everything's good. Everything's great. Hey, you know what, guys? Thanks for watching. I should say, you know what, y'all? Thanks for watching as we toured Arkham Asylum in the Unspeakable Oath. Like I said, I'm probably going to add in Rabbit's Foots instead of the Cherished Keepsakes now that I have Peters. And speaking of Peters, I might just go ahead and upgrade those bad boys. I do have Sharn's Obel, so that should give me a total of at least 5 experience points for this scenario. And we're on to the next one. Let's go check out France. Said no one ever.